Ooh, Justin Baldoni's lawyers just clapped back against Blake Lively's lies in the most respectful yet spiciest filings I've read yet. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We also have a big reveal in this video you're not going to miss, so watch the whole thing. But first, this spicy filing. I got to give a shout out to Leanne Newton. We're going to read her commentary because she did a beautiful breakdown of why this is so spicy. Before we get to it, though, we need to recap what got us to this point. Okay, so as a recap, last Friday, Kevin Fritz, one of the Wayfair attorneys, filed a letter where he alleged that Lively is slowly realizing there is no smear campaign and is shifting her focus to Friedman, setting her sights on proving defamation. Although redacted, the third paragraph then sheds some light, as you can see here, on what might be in the deposition. Fritz says that Lively admitted the only ongoing smear campaign that she has personal knowledge of relates to some of this redacted information. However, directly after, Fritz continued writing, counterclaims filed without retaliatory motive and with reasonable basis in fact and law, such as the claims filed by the Wayfair parties against Lively, do not constitute an adverse employment action within the meaning of anti-discrimination statutes. The letter goes on to say that the statements by Wayfair to the media, directly or through counsel defending themselves against Lively's bogus claims of harassment, do not qualify as retaliatory conduct, which is factual. They're allowed to respond to what's out there and to this case that Lively has posted. Just because she makes allegations and files stuff or makes an article in the New York Times doesn't mean it's true. That's what the trial's for. And while this goes on, both parties, Blake and Justin's sides, can, say what they want to defend themselves. So fast forward, okay, we move on. Along with the letter, Fritz submitted the transcript of the deposition. However, it was sealed to the public in accordance with Lively's protective order. Now, there's a question of should they have the whole filing, whatever, but apparently they can, and they did, and she has every right to then, seal it. It was sealed in the public accordance with Lively's protective order and asked that the court not rule on the seal for a week so that the parties can meet and confer, and Miss Lively may file a motion for continued sealing if she so chooses. Now, this then prompted a bunch of PR, seemingly from Blake's side. Oh, look, he's shaming us. He's putting this out there. How dare they? This is this is about a media campaign. Meanwhile, it's Blake who's clearly speaking to the media and painting this as a victim of Justin's actions, which this is all just legal actions that they're allowed to do. But this was the press wave that then went in People, Deadline, all over the place of Blake slamming Justin, shaming his lawyers, yada, yada, yada. Now, continuing, this is the motion to strike the depo. Lively's lawyers then responded in rushing to file on the public docket for the entirety of the 292-page transcript of the day they received it, with no plausible legal reason to do so. The Wayfair defendants and their counsel have proved Miss Lively's point. The correspondence Monday with Ezra to Judge Lyman says slamming teams Baldoni's blunt move and wanting everything permanently sealed ASAP. The transcript was filed in support of the argument that there is no basis to assert that Brian Friedman and his firm have participated in, fueled and advanced a smear campaign against Ms. Lively, such that their conduct has amounted to public relations work rather than an attorney. The judge then ruled in a text form, okay, well, you can respond. We'll give you a day to respond this. You have until end of day yesterday to respond. So that's what got us here. Now, here was the response, just so we're all on the same page. Because again, we are now in legal warfare is what this actually is. And Fritz responded. And I'm going to read you here, and then we're going to read some of Leanne's commentary. As counsel, Wayfair, yada, yada, yada. Motion to strike her final deposition transcript, currently under file seal. Fritz begins by correcting Lively's assert in the motion that the attached transcript was a rough draft. He says it's the final edit. In the footnote, he explains, we are unclear why Miss Lively, I don't think you guys can see that. Let me make sure I can lift this up. We are unclear, here it is, why Miss Lively refers to her deposition transcript as a rough draft, given that the document is not marked as rough, as such versions of transcripts traditionally are. So he's making it clear, this is not a draft. This means Lively's statements are true. These are accurate transcripts. That's what they submitted. Let's continue. Miss Lively frames her argument as a motion to strike pursuant to federal rule of civil procedure 12.5 in the court's inherent power. However, Rule 12 does not authorize this court to strike documents other than pleadings. And then look what they do. They're quoting Lyman cases, Judge Lyman cases is what they're doing. Pleadings including only the complaint answer to cross claims and counterclaims. They do not include exhibits submitted in connection with oppositions to motions. And then there's another Lyman case. He points out to Lively that their filed motions under strike only allow the court to strike documents that constitute pleadings. It doesn't allow to strike attachments. He then cites 2 of Lyman's own cases as authority on this point, which is just brilliant. When you can do that, you absolutely do that to remind the judge, you know this is what this is. Further, Miss Lively does not contend to the deposition transcripts contained abusive, improper, or libelous materials, which might warrant the court's exercise of its inherent power. Fritz is arguing here that Lively has not even stated that the transcript contains anything bad, nor can she, as it's her own words. Let's continue. After all, the deposition transcript records Miss Lively's own words. Miss Lively contends that the transcript must be stricken based on her speculation that it was filed for the purpose of the transcript in the public domain fodder for their media campaign. The transcript, however, was filed under seal, and Miss Lively has the option of moving to keep the document sealed, although it's puzzling why she seeks to conceal her own testimony in an action in which she is the plaintiff. Very good point here. Her assertion that it should be stricken because it was only filed to serve as fodder for the untraceable smear campaign is made without any evidence, because there isn't any, and Lively has the choice to permanently seal her own testimony, although it would be bizarre for her to seal her testimony because she's made it clear she's here to testify in court, and this is her testimony under oath in a court. We continue. Let's go to page 2. He then takes a shot at Lively by stating that she was not required to file any further response to the court. He also reminds Lively that their motion to quash was largely granted, which is what this paragraph here is discussing. Fritz then argues in the blue section here that because of her gratuitous letter to the court, which was further an argument on our opposition to motion, which was disguised as a motion to strike, Lively invited Wayfair to respond with evidence in the transcript attached. Basically saying here, obviously, hey, you opened up this can of worms. The Wayfair parties responded citing Miss Lively's deposition transcript, which was attached as an exhibit, to demonstrate for the court that Lively's allegations of an ongoing smear campaign are unsubstantiated. By improperly submitting additional argument on the motion to quash, Miss Lively invited a response that would include evidence to establish the true reason why Miss Lively served the subpoena upon Liner Friedman. It is routine for the court to consider deposition testimony in connection with discovery disputes. And again, look, they're just citing another Lyman case using deposition testimony. Miss Lively's contention that the Wayfair parties did not hope to make her defend to continue sealing of the transcript so they can advance a false narrative that she's afraid of her deposition testimony becoming public. Miss Lively will either move to permanently seal her transcript or she will not. The choice is her. Where is there proof of this evidence of them saying she's afraid to? They're making it clear that it's odd she would seal her own testimony, but they have not said she's afraid of it anywhere. She's put that narrative out there. Now, Fritz then addresses the allegations that detailed deposition were leaked to the media. This part is crucial. Miss Lively next alleges that it also appears that the Wayfair defendants immediately leaked details from her deposition to the tabloid media. She does not cite any evidence. This is not surprising, as there is none. Miss Lively also fails to explain why any such leak could not have originated from Miss Lively, her husband, her multiple attorneys, legal or administrative staff from the law firm representing her, whose office she demanded host the deposition, or the catering staff employed thereby who served lunch. Putting aside the identity of the culprit, the identities of those in attendance for her deposition are not newsworthy because all parties are entitled to attend all depositions. For the reasons set forth, the motion should be denied. This is a fantastic response. It really does go in very respectfully but spicily, calling out the lies, the false narrative spinning that Blake Lively is doing here. And bravo for them to put it out there. Again, there's ways to do this where it's like, but still be respectful of the court. And that's what I've been getting frustrated in some of the filings I've seen. We had one of our own fans put a filing out that while I know they're trying to help, I don't want this to turn into a circus. We still have rules of a court we have to follow. And I really appreciate when they can follow those rules and then point out when Blake is not, because that'll help much more than anything else. Now, I teased something else in this video and I don't want to tease it any longer. There is some big news. This is the anniversary of It Ends With Us in theaters. And today was supposed to be the release date of our documentary. Well, obviously subpoenas have changed that. We've now posted an updated trailer over on Twitter and social media and Instagram. And also, we have now created a 7-day free trial for membership. So if you want to get a sense of what we're going to do, today's the day. I don't know how long this is going to last. Probably only this week or so. So now's your chance. Sign up today. You can head over to PopcornedPlanet.com and get a 7-day free trial. That's right. Sign up. You'll have to put all your information, but you're going to get 7 free days before you can cancel if you choose to. And that'll give you access to not only our production diaries so far, but also our previous documentaries. We just dropped the last episode of With Hate Meghan, which I really urge you to check out. Whether you like or hate or not, this is a very informative piece that'll show you a little bit more of the style and quality that we're putting together. And I urge you to check out all the member perks. You can head over to exclusive content. Once you're a member, check out replays, Uncensored's coming back, a lot of exclusive videos, etc. that you can find here, and so much more. But more importantly, you'll be supporting our documentary moving forward. The memberships here help us continue to produce this documentary, which is proving to be quite expensive. We broke down the costs actually in our Give, Send, Go. If you guys want an update on that, I want to be transparent about where these funds are going. We've already spent way more than these funds on this project, and now to have to spend more along with legal, it's just not something we budgeted for. So your support here helps us tremendously, as do your memberships over on our website. So thanks to everybody who signed up. Take advantage of today's 7-day free trial today. Do it before it's gone. You can head to the pinned comment, or I'll put a little link here at the end. In fact, I'll put it right there. There it is. Click the little link on the right there, the little box. That'll take you to the website. Sign up today, get your 7-day free trial. Check out all the member perks and stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet.